Australian sport, the first Tuesday of November is a special day. It's the day that is affectionately known as the race that stops a nation. For the reason being, the entirety of our nation of Australia stops, and in fact nowadays the world stops, for 2 o'clock Queensland time, or 3 o'clock down in Melbourne, to watch the running of the Melbourne Cup. 3,200 metres, a true staying contest. There are you'll see many horses over the years. Some of them will be able to run it, others won't. So when you're looking for trying to pick out a horse that might be able to do it, the first tip I always like to do is look at who's actually going to be able to run the distance. Last year, we saw Gold Trip, the top weight, actually take it out. Normally you don't see a top weight in a handicap take it out, given that it's just such a hard challenge, especially over 3,200 metres. But in a true staying contest and a marvellous performance, it was Gold Trip who took it out and ran the whole way and won the thing. Aiming to go back-to-back this year, a feat that very few horses have done, and no horse has actually gone back-to-back since Maccabi Diva, who won it 3 in a row. And so what we're going to see, will Gold Trip be able to do it again? Going to have to do it without his regular jockey of Mark Zara, who's chosen to ride without a fight this year, who's another one of the main contenders for the Cup. Was the main contender last year, and unfortunately didn't come too good. However, the forecast is for a bit better ground, a bit harder ground, so that's going to play right into the hands of Without a Fight. However, they've got to overcome the challenge of international raider Vauban, who's coming in from the UK in phenomenal form. Formerly a jumper, jumping over and would run over 4,000 metres in some of those races, but would do jumps and that, but is now on the flat and has been set for this Melbourne Cup for a long time out from Willie Mullins and his team. It's going to be a very interesting race. Those are your three main players, but you've also got other horses. You've got horses such as your lightweight in Karlapur, who won the Archer Stakes just yesterday, who will be always looking for a chance to come through. You've also got a lot of other lightweights, such as you've got horses such as More Ellens and Future History, who are also in really good form, and with some good jockeys on their backs too. We've also got previous Cup winners in Vow and Declare from 2019, who many thought was done. But Vow and Declare's still here, still going, and some would argue is racing better than ever. So is it still a chance? Lighter weight than when it won. Sorry, not lighter weight than when it won, but lighter weight than in previous years, could do it. So, welcome to the 13th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup sweep. So, what we've got this year is the 13th running of the sweep, which started back in 2011. For those of you who don't know, when I was told that my school class wasn't doing a sweep that year, so I went, right, well, I love the Melbourne Cup, I want to do a sweep. So I did, just started it with family and friends, and the prize that year for first place, I'm pretty sure it was just like an old chocolate Easter egg, which would have been great given now it's November. And that one was won by my dad, Jared Ryan, who, believe it or not, won last year as well, and that was his 4th win in what was then 12 years and now 13 years of this event. So he seems to just win all of the time. But who will win it this year? We've got a large number of participants. There's 24 in the main sweep, and then we've got a whole bunch more across other sweeps. So this year I'm running 4 different sweeps. So we've got the main sweep, which is a $10 sweep. We've then got a secondary and tertiary sweep, which are $5 sweeps. And then this year, because of popular demand, I'm also running a $2 sweep in a 4th sweep. So I'll do all of them tonight, but I'll just give you a quick rundown on the prizes and what we're really going for. So in the main sweep, if you win, you will receive this wonderful little gift box with our 13th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup sweep logo on there. Open it up to the 2023 Sweep Champion. Now, the one that some people will be after, you've got your cash there, $120 for first. You also receive a pennant, letting you know that you're the champion. You get a little sweep medal there, a sweep pin there, I should say rather, and also an official Melbourne Cup pin for the year. And also for this year, we've got a little medal. Last year there was a normal medal, just in, say, regular, just a little gold one. This time we've gone a little bit fancier. So I'm just going to pop this over here, but we've gone a little bit fancier and we've gone with a nice crystal medal. So there's a nice crystal glass medal there. I don't know if you can see, but in there is a logo, there is a sweep logo. So that is the main thing that we're all playing for. In those, if you come second in the main sweep, you'll also get a silver pin for second, and you'll also receive $80. Third place will receive $40, and last place is going to receive a lollipop because, as the joke from grade 4 went, your horse sucks. So in our secondary and tertiary sweeps, the prizes are scaled back as well. So it's $60 for first and then bringing it down in that line. So basically half, so 60, 40, 20. And of course a lollipop, but a smaller one. And then the $2 sweep is the same prize dividend ratio, just on a $2 scheme. So you'd be receiving $24 for first, etc., etc. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll flick you back over to earlier before, where I've done the results of how the order of the sweep will do, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so now we're here for the moment we've all been waiting for. The first pick in the main sweep, and in the first pick in the 13th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup sweep, Matty Andrews, his first pick, and the very first horse to be picked is horse number 24, True Marvel. Now, unfortunately for Matty, True Marvel hasn't been in the best of form recently, but has been placed at Group 1 level, so we'll see what happens there. So next up, Kate Arnfelt with a second pick. So Kate, your horse, you receive horse number 19, Virtuous Circle. Unfortunately, another one of the outsiders, but it's a horse that I've watched for a while and has started off its career pretty brightly, but has been in a bit of a down run lately. So have to probably turn it around to feature at the end on Tuesday. Now, next up is Kiara Tucker. So Kiara, you receive horse number 2, Alan Kerr. Now, this one will be Damien Oliver's last ride in the Melbourne Cup. However, there is a little bit of an injury cloud around this, and fitness cloud, so just watch that, because there is a bit of danger if your horse may be scratched. Now, I'll just stop there and let you know that if your horse is scratched, unfortunately it is bad luck. So fingers crossed, Kiara, and fingers crossed for Damien Oliver's sake, that he gets up. Now, next up is Trisha Barron. So Trisha, you receive horse number 15. Lastoshka. I'm going to absolutely butcher that pronunciation. So that one there, French winner, has run over the distance before. It's on its Australian debut, but be interesting to see how it goes. Next, we have Lachlan Griffiths, who won the sweep here in 2020, the first time we actually opened it up to outside of family. And Lockie, you receive horse number 4, Breakup, the Japanese import. Ran all right at the Caulfield Cup, not too good, but has been going very well over in Japan. Our next one here is Ben Condon with horse number 5. The fifth pick receives, Ben, you receive horse number 13, Okita Sushi. Now, Okita Sushi has been running all right in the UK, but didn't run too well in its Australian debut at Caulfield Cup. Perhaps it would be better for the run. Next up, after Ben, we've got horse number 7, which is Tony Barron. Tony, your horse, horse number 20, More Felons, ridden by Jamie Carr, and one who I think might be a chance, but be very interesting to see how it goes. Unfortunately, drawn from the car park in barrier 24. Now, next after Tony is last year's winner, and seems to be the most frequent winner, Jared Ryan. So, Jared, your horse is horse number 17, Military Mission. A grey horse, one of the greys, and one of Gay Waterhouse's runners. So, we'll see how it goes. Has been running very well, won the Herbert Power to get in, has been in good form, so watch out for that one. Will it be the one that gets you yet another win? Who knows? Next up is Sharon Conway, and Sharon, your horse, you receive horse number 3, Without a Fight. Definitely one of the major players. It says a lot that Mark Zara decided to back in Without a Fight this year over his favourite horse in Gold Trip. Now, next after Sharon is Braden Osborne. So, Aussie, you receive horse number 12, Deshaun Sweet Jr. A few have said it could be a chance, a bit like High Emotion, to come running on at the end. It ran well last year, but hasn't shown a lot. It's been a while since its last win, but who knows? Will the New Zealand Galloper be able to do it for you? Next is Dave McAnally, and Dave, your horse, you receive last year's winner and defending champion, horse number 1, Gold Trip. So you certainly know all about that one. So, and with your favourite jockey of all time on board, you got to cheer on good old James McDonald. So enjoy that one, Dave. Next is Cheryl Davis, and Cheryl, you receive horse number 5, Vauban, the favourite. Was phenomenal over in the UK earlier this year, where it managed to beat a few actual contenders in this race by quite a considerable margin. So you've drawn very well there, Cheryl. Next up is Amy. So Amy Ryan, you receive horse number 23, Carlapore, winner of the Archer Stakes. So it's in good form, but how will it go backing up a few days later in what is definitely a higher class? We just don't know. Next is Megan Packer. So Megan, your horse in the sweep is horse number 14, Shiraz. Probably needs a bit of rain to come in for it to go really good, but Chris Waller does have some good wraps on it, and he does know how to train them. Next up is Anne McAnally. So Anne, you receive horse number 10, Cleveland, winner of the Moonee Valley Gold Cup just the other week. Ran really well in that race and came flying home at the end. Looks like it should appreciate the extra rise and trip and should run it well. Next is Danny Barron. So, Danny, your horse, you receive horse number 18, Serpentine. Ran this horse race last year, went all right, has done well at Group 1 level before, and came third just recently in the Bart Cummings Stakes. Now, Beck Picaria, your horse, you receive horse number 11, Ashrun. Somewhat of the comeback story for the Melbourne Cup this year, being over 1,000 days since last raced, before it came back earlier this year. Its previous race was actually the 2020 Melbourne Cup when it finished 10th behind Twilight Payment. Had suffered a large range of injuries, but is now back, and we'll see how it goes, wearing the famous Australian bloodstock colours. Now, Chris Ryan, next, horse number, you receive horse number 16, Magical Lagoon, another one of Chris Waller's horses. Has been going pretty well over in Ireland, won the Irish Oaks, but it went to the front in the Geelong Cup, tried to lead from the front, but ran out of puff on the way there, so it'd be interesting to see how it goes with the extra staying distance. Now next, Regan Griffiths. Regan, your horse, you receive horse number 6, Solcombe. Now, one you might like, because you've got a bit of a Tigers connection there, Richmond Tigers there, Jack Riold is one of the owners, as well as a couple of the other Tiger mobs. So also a very good chance, has been right up there in cup betting since this day last year. So it'd be interesting to see, can it go the distance? Next is Jeremy Adams. And Jeremy, you receive horse number 8, Right You Are. Horse that's out of the Kieran Maher and David Eustace stable. Good stable, does know how to train their horses pretty well. And has been running semi-okay. Came 5th in the Caulfield Cup, so that was a very good run for it, but will it be able to be here at the end of the Melbourne Cup? Have to wait and see for Tuesday. Michael Conway, you receive the next pick, which you get horse number 22, Interpretation. Another one of the out of the Maher and Eustace stable. Ran in the Cup last year, but unfortunately failed to finish. Was checked out by vets and all clear, but be interesting to see how it comes on. It's just won the Bendigo Cup, so it is in good form. So that's some good news for you there. Now, Paul McAnally. Paul, you receive horse number 9, Vow and Declare, the winner of the 2019 Cup. So has been in great form lately, when others thought it was probably done, but it's still here, still going and running very well. Now there's only 2 left, myself and Renee, so I'm at 23 and I receive, so my horse is horse number 21, Future History. Ridden by the great English jockey Holly Doyle, was 3rd in the Moonee Valley Cup and actually won the Bart Cummings Cup to get in here. Has come in the top in the places in its last 5 races, so maybe it might be able to keep up the good form here. And then Renee obviously gets the last pick, which the last one is horse number 7, Absurd. The stablemate to the favourite, Vauban, has run very well over in the UK and is definitely going to be in the places again for it. Now, after that, I'll flick you back across and we'll have a look at how it's going to look for the secondary sweep. Okay, so now we're back for the secondary sweep. Exactly the same as before. I'll try and get through these a bit quicker. Probably won't be able to give the same amount of facts because we've been through that all before. So first pick in the secondary sweep goes to Leo Conway. And Leo, your horse, you receive horse number 10, Cleveland. As we said, won the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. Now next is Chris Ryan with second pick. So Chris, your horse, you get horse number 7, Absurd. Was the last horse drawn out of the main sweep. And is definitely going to be in the chances, trained by the Irish wizard, they call him, Willie Mullins. Next is Tommy Moore, and Tommy, you receive horse number 12, Deshaun Sweet Jr., the Kiwi galloper who will stay the trip, but is it lacking in class, perhaps? Next, we've got Regan Griffiths. Regan, you receive horse number 23, Carlapaw, winner of the Archer Stakes just gone. Cheryl Davis is next, so Cheryl, your horse, you get horse number 2, Alan Kerr, Damien Oliver's final ride, provided it actually pulls up okay. Next is Jared Ryan. So Jared, your horse, horse number 22, Interpretation. Unfortunately didn't finish last year, and I will just let you know that if your horse, I will pay out on last past the post, so if your horse doesn't finish, that's not last for the purposes of the sweep. Now next is Michael Conway, and Mick, your horse, you receive horse number 24, True Marvel. The lightweight in the field hasn't been in the best form, as we said at the start. Now, next is Danny Barron. And Danny, your horse, horse number 11, the comeback horse, Asheron. Next, we have Megan Packer. So, Megan, your horse in the secondary sweep, you get horse number 6, Solcombe. Again, going to be one of the major players. Has been well and truly up there in the betting in the past year. Next is Renee Richardson. Horse number 15, Lastoshka. I've absolutely butchered that one again, and I'm going to butcher it the whole way through, so I apologise for that. Next, we have Braden Osborne. So, Aussie, your horse in the secondary sweep, you receive horse number 4, Breakup, the Japanese import. Next is Amy Ryan, and Amy, your horse in the secondary sweep, you receive horse number 3, Without a Fight. It's definitely firming in the betting odds and could jump very close to, if not favourite, come Tuesday. Now, next is Beck Picaria. Beck, you receive horse number 1, Gold Trip, last year's winner. Next is Dan Kurtz. So, Kurtzy, your horse, you receive horse number 13, Okita Sushi, in the secondary sweep. Next, Dave McAnally. So, Dave, in the secondary sweep, for your first horse, you get horse number 14, Shiraz. Again, probably going to need a wet track for that one to come in. Now, for myself, my pick in the second sweep, I receive horse number 9, Vow and Declare, 2019 champion. Next is Kiara Tucker. Now, Kiara, your horse, you receive horse number 21, Future History. Next, we have Maddie Andrews. And Maddie, for your pick in the secondary sweep, you receive horse number 19, Virtuous Circle. Next, we have Tony Barron. And Tony, you receive horse number 18, Serpentine. Next, we have Trisha Barron. So, Trisha, your horse, you receive horse number 5, Vauban, the favourite. How will it run? We'll see. Backed in pretty well. Now, that's everyone who's had their original go. So now what you'll see is 21 through 24. People had secondary entrance in this just based on the money that was paid up and all allocated across and sweeps it requested. So, therefore, Braden Osborne, your second horse in this sweep is horse number 16, Magical Lagoon. Next is Dave McAnally. And Dave, you receive horse number 20, More Felons. So next will be my second one, and my second horse to receive in this sweep is horse number 17, Military Mission. And finally, Tony Barron. Tony receives horse number 8, Right You Are. Now that concludes our secondary sweep, and I'll just jump you back across and you can see the results and how it's going to look for the third sweep. So moving on to the tertiary sweep. So I've just seen the order of the sweep there, and so first pick in the sweep, we'll go to Tom Moore. And Tom, you receive horse number 22, Interpretation. Next is Renee Richards. And Renee, your horse in the tertiary sweep is horse number 23, Karlapur. Next, Cara-Lee Kales. So Cara-Lee, your horse, hopefully it won't be scratched like last year when you had Point Nepean. You have horse 12, Deshaun Sweet Jr. Next is Paul McNally. And Paul, for your horse in this sweep, you receive horse number 20, More Felons. Will be ridden by Jamie Carr. Next is Michael Conway. And Mick, your horse in this sweep, you receive horse number 15, Lastoshka. Again, I've only got to get through that once more before I'm done with saying it. Next, we then have Dad Leo Conway. And Leo, so you're hoping for Okita Sushi to be able to eat home your son's horse in mixed horse of Lastoshka, so I said it once more. Next, we have Dan Kurtz. So Dan, your horse in this one, you receive horse number 21, Future History. Next is Regan Griffiths. So Regan, you receive horse number 21, Military Mission. Next, we have Ben Condon. And Ben, your horse in this sweep is horse number 1, Gold Trip, last year's winner. Next, we then have Kiara Tucker. So Kiara, your horse, you receive horse number 7, Absurd. Next is Chris Ryan. So Chris, for your horse in the tertiary sweep, you receive horse number 3, Without a Fight. Next after Chris is Dave McAnally. And Dave, your horse in the tertiary sweep, you get horse number 2, Alan Kerr. So you get to cheer on good old Damien Oliver once more, provided it makes it to the starting line. Next up is Amy Ryan. So Amy, you receive horse number 18, Serpentine. Next after that, we're on to Beck Pekaria. And Beck, your horse in the tertiary sweep, you receive horse number 6, Solcombe. Next is myself, and so my pick in the tertiary sweep, I receive horse number 11, Ashrun. Following that, we have Tony Barron, and Tony, your horse in the tertiary sweep is horse number 24, True Marvel. Next, it's Braden Osborne, and so Braden Osborne, your horse is horse number 19, Virtuous Circle. Next up is Anne McAnally, and Anne in the tertiary sweep, you receive horse number 14, Shiraz. Next, we're on to Cheryl Davis, and Cheryl, your horse in the tertiary sweep, horse number 9, Vow and Declare. Okay, next up is Jared Ryan. So Jared, your horse, you receive horse number 10, Cleveland. And now we're going back over the last 4 who are also in this twice. Once again, the same 4 as last time. So Dave McAnally, your second horse, horse number 8, Right You Are. Next we'll move on to my second horse, and I will receive horse number, when I can pick one up, there we go, horse number 4, Breakup, the Japanese galloper. Next is Tony Barron, and Tony receives horse number 16, Magical Lagoon. Next is Braden Osborne, who receives the final horse, and it's the favourite, horse number 5, Vauban. Now, I'll jump you back over to where we were doing for the exactly as before, and we'll be ready to come back and do the 4th sweep. So we're almost there. We're at the final sweep of the evening. So our 4th sweep for the 13th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup sweep. The $2 sweep, brand new this one. So first up, first pick in the new one is Michael Conway. So Mick, you receive horse number 2, Alan Kerr. Next up is Ben Condon. So Ben, for your horse in this sweep, you receive horse number 14, Shiraz. Next we have Lockie Griffiths. So Lockie, your horse in the $2 sweep, horse number 24, True Marvel. Next we have myself, and I receive horse number 20, More Felons. Next up we have Maxie Bishop. Maxie, you receive horse number 4, Breakup. Will that be the one to turn your $2 into 24? You're going to find out. Next up, we've got Jared Ryan. So Jared, your horse, horse number 22, Interpretation. Next is Dave McAnally. So Dave, your horse in this one, you receive horse number 23, Carlapore. I know you're keen on this one, so at least you get to cheer that one home. Next we have Tommy Moore. So Tommy, you receive in this one the favourite, horse number 5, Vauban. Next is Michael Conway. So now, as we've done before, we're going to go back through it because there's only a few in this one. So Michael, your second horse, you receive horse number 17, Military Mission. Next is Lockie Griffiths. Lockie, good old King Griffo, you receive horse number 13, Okita Sushi. Next is myself. With my next pick in this one, I receive horse number 10, Cleveland. Next we have Jared Ryan. So Jared, your horse in the next sweep is Virtuous Circle, horse number 19. Next is Dave McAnally. So Dave, your second horse in the $2 sweep, you receive the favourite trip, so you still get to cheer on J-Mac another time for him. Next we're at Tommy Moore. So Tom, you receive horse number 7, Absurd. Next up we've got Lachlan Griffiths. So Lockie, your horse in the 4th one, you receive horse number 15, Lastoshka. I'm so glad I am done saying that right now. Next up is Jared Ryan. So Jared, your horse, your final horse in this one, you receive horse number 3, Without a Fight. Next is Dave McAnally. So Dave, your horse in the $2 sweep, the next horse for you is horse number 21, Future History. Next along we have Tom Moore, and Tommy, you receive horse number 11, Ashrun. Lockie Griffiths, you're up next, and Lockie, you receive horse number 12, Deshaun Sweet Jr. Now next is Dave McAnally. We're almost there. So Davey, you receive horse number 18, Serpentine. Tom Moore, you're up next. So Tom receives, in our $2 sweep, horse number 9, Vow and Declare. Now to go through for our last 3 of the thing. So Lachlan Griffiths, your final pick in the sweep, you receive horse number 8, Right You Are. Next is Dave McAnally. So Dave, your final horse, you receive horse number 6, Solcombe. And then finally, Tommy Moore, to close out our sweep, you receive the final horse of the sweep, horse number 16, Magical Lagoon. Okay, so with that one, that concludes all 4 of our sweeps. So good luck on Tuesday. Make sure you cheer home your horses, have a watch over everything, and make sure that you enjoy your day.